32, 33, 33. These were absolute tops that silver couldn't break. We've consistently seen silver for the last few years. We had a period in time when silver had come down, and then
Right now, the precious metals market has reached a truly historic point. Let's break down what's happening. Post by North Star. Spot gold and spot silver. First weekly closes over $4,000 and $50 respectively, ever. That's a historic statement. It means for the first time in market history, both gold and silver closed an entire week above these record levels. It's not just a daily spike, it's a confirmed weekly close, which gives it real technical strength. This shows the long-term trend might be turning very bullish. Post by Bob Coleman. Silver alert. We are on the verge of a serious dislocation in the silver market. Bob is warning that something big might be happening behind the scenes. When traders talk about dislocation, they usually mean the paper silver price and the physical silver market are starting to separate, meaning there might not be enough real silver to back all the contracts being traded. This can cause massive volatility if confirmed. Gary Wagner, Full Silver Analysis.
Silver's up to $50, almost 49. It's touched 49 twice, only twice in the last 50 years. Now, I want to ask you before we get to your silver price forecast, why has silver taken so long to catch up to its all-time highs when gold has been breaking all-time highs for basically 2.5 years straight?
I think the primary reason is that when we look at gold, that seems to be the standard in terms of a safe haven that's an inflationary hedge, where silver isn't perceived to have the same kind of weight in that way. When we look at the recent move in silver, you can see that back as recently as the beginning of August, silver's at $36. And if we look back, let me compress this chart. You've got to go back quite a ways to see what we were witnessing. We had 32, 33, 33. These were absolute tops that silver couldn't break. We've consistently seen silver for the last few years. We had a period in time when silver had come down and then actually hit 26, but then quickly retraced to 17. And then you have this almost triple top, absolutely a double top of silver at $26. This is back in December 2023. It makes a new top at 32 and then another one at 34, October of 2024, and then again in April of 2025. It corrects, and then you get these new levels, $39, but then you get a parabolic move in silver from about $37. And what's interesting to me is the intra-day and intra-week high, and I'll kind of blow that up again, is $50. And so we know that historically silver has touched this level, but I believe only once prior to this, and that's when the Hunt brothers were trying to capture that market, and whether or not they were successful, they did drive the price up. What I'm seeing now in silver is this. You've had silver move from $36 in July 2025 to top out at about 38 and change, and then form a double and then a triple top. Then you had it come up to a new price high, $41, $42, and then trade sideways for a period. And then we had a price ascent, a actual correction. And recently, we would see silver be very strong for a period of time. Here it's 3 weeks. And then for the following 4 or 5 weeks, 7 weeks now, we've seen an absolute top in terms of closing price at about $48.50 and an absolute intra-week low of about $47. And you've got these wicks that have tested areas between 48 and 50, but you have not seen an effective close. And so we know that in terms of a challenge for silver, it's going to be to have a close anywhere above $50. We haven't seen that. So we've got definitive resistance now at about $48.50. We've got defined support at about $47. And it's going to be, as far as I'm concerned, if we do see a further advance in silver, we have to see an effective close really above $38 or $49 to see silver once again pass $50 and have an effective close. I don't think that that is in the cards right now. I think that silver will continue to consolidate and trade sideways. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't correct after moving from $37 up to these closing prices at about 48. And if it did correct, I would look for about between $44 and $45 is a level to correct to. And as you can see, I've got Fibonacci retracement levels put in here. And this is what's being tested right now, which is the 78% retracement. And the retracement level I'm plotting is $36 up to $50. We've seen the wicks come to this area, but closing prices well above that. So if it, on a closing basis, if silver breaks below 47, I think it could challenge and test $45 as a potential level of support. If not, silver will go back and challenge these closes that came in approximately at $48 and try to take that out, whether it's 49 or 50. I would be hard pressed to see an effective close above 50 for a sustained number of weeks. We'll probably challenge it before we get there. But right now we have a floor in silver at $47, and we're looking at futures, not spot. And we've got a defined level of closing prices for these 4 weeks here at around 48. And then, of course, right now, a much lower close at around 47.70. So those are the levels that I'm looking at.
Excellent. And
right now, Gary Wagner, a well-known precious metals analyst, has given a very detailed breakdown of silver's current price action, and it's fascinating to hear how he sees the market shaping up. According to Gary, silver has touched around $49 to $50, but only twice in the last 50 years, which shows just how rare this price level really is. He mentions that while gold has been making new all-time highs for more than 2 years, silver hasn't quite caught up, and there's a reason behind that. Gold is still viewed as the ultimate safe haven, the metal investors turn to during inflation or financial instability. Silver, on the other hand, doesn't carry that same level of institutional trust, even though it's both a monetary and industrial metal. That's part of why silver's price has taken longer to move. Gary goes on to explain how, since August 2025, silver has climbed from $36 all the way to nearly $50, a massive run. But what's interesting is that it keeps facing heavy resistance around that $49 to $50 level. He points out that historically, silver's price hit this zone only once before, during the Hunt Brothers episode in 1980 when they tried to corner the silver market. Right now, Gary sees resistance at $48.5 and support around $47. In other words, silver's price is kind of trapped between those two zones, a tight consolidation range. To really see silver break out higher, he says it would need a confirmed close above $49 or $50, not just a quick spike. However, he doesn't think that's likely to happen immediately. Instead, he expects silver might move sideways or even correct a bit lower after such a big rally, possibly dropping to around $44 to $45 before gathering strength again. He's also using Fibonacci retracement levels, which are tools traders use to identify possible pullback zones. Based on his analysis, the current retracement suggests that if silver closes below $47, it could retest the $45 support level before attempting another push towards $50. So, in short, Gary believes silver is showing strong upward momentum, but we're at a critical point. The metal has the strength, but unless we see multiple weekly closes above $50, it might not hold that level just yet. Still, the fact that silver is trading this high after decades of suppression and sideways moves is a strong signal that something is changing in the broader precious metals market. Whether it consolidates or breaks higher, this zone between $47 and $50 will likely determine the next major trend for silver. Post by Rashad Hajiev. Precious metals miners continue shenanigans. Despite silver is up 1.7% and above $50, junior silver miners SIL down 2%. I think this is purposefully engineered to confuse PM investors. This tactic can have an effect only for a few days. Let them corner themselves deeper into the trap. Here, Rashad is pointing out unusual behavior. Normally, when silver goes up, silver mining stocks go up too. But right now, junior miners are down even though silver is rallying. He believes this move is intentional, possibly short-term market manipulation designed to shake out investors before the next leg higher. Post by Echo. Silver is holding up very well considering the black swan market crash. Echo's point is that despite a sudden global market crash, which he calls a black swan event, silver hasn't broken down. It's holding firm. That strength in the face of panic often signals confidence in silver as a safe haven asset. Post by Northstar. Silver. Well, that's it. We hit $50, the top of my ARC target area. After 5 years of showing you this chart and tracking the price move to its target, we can bid it farewell, having done the job it was designed to do. One day, I will write a book, and it will be in there. This is a huge moment for Northstar. After years of tracking and forecasting silver's rise, his target has finally been hit, $50 per ounce. It's the completion of a long-term technical projection. His comment about writing a book shows how meaningful this moment is to the entire silver community. In summary, silver has now officially hit $50, a level that's triggering emotional, technical, and market-wide reactions, from traders calling out possible dislocations to analysts confirming long-term targets. This week may mark a defining moment for silver's future. Disclaimer. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment or trading decisions.